don't know what they're doing.
That's
And
right. That's right.
that is not meant to be disrespectful or anything. It just is what it is.
I
And
do
so
see a lot
people
that woke up one morning and said, I think I'll be a business coach.
and
And you
people
can
are
tell.
teaching what they've learned. There's no, experience in corporate. There's no academia, anything to back it up. I've literally seen people say, I was, a website developer.
Yeah.
I tripped and fell and made $10,000. Now I'm teaching you how you can trip and fall and make $10,000. And they're calling it business coaching. And people are getting into that and they're skipping steps
Well, there's
because
also the
there's no,
fragmentation of the mindset versus the strategy. It's all
Mhm.
mindset, it's all strategy. And I'm like, have you not learned anything from the diet industry?
Yeah. Oh, well, you can't make 10K because there's something wrong with your mindset. Or oh, you're
No, not
just, what do
necessarily.
they say? You're
Sometimes it's just
introverted.
your link isn't working. Welcome to the Making Business Effortless podcast. This edition was done live inside the Effortlessly book community. For access to the full version and future live broadcasts inside the Effortlessly book community, check the show notes for a link to the Effortlessly book community, where you will also gain access to free and paid services supporting you on your journey to a fully booked, sustainable, and effortless business.
There.
All right, so we're going to talk about multiple platforms today, but Sutton, you are doing an amazing offer right now. You help people with their content so they can deliver a clear message
Mhm.
and share their services clearly. And I am more of the where can we make more money inside this business and cut costs and make it more streamlined and sustainable. So together we create the Wonder Twins. So we're going to talk about one of the things that Sutton and I have noticed are people wanting to be on multiple platforms. I've done it. Haven't you been on the same platform? In the very beginning of my time, I was on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Clubhouse. The list goes
Vine, were
on.
you on Vine?
No, missed that one. I was on all of them, and I was doing videos and creating content. And it's nonstop in the production room.
You were visible
Just,
though.
I was visible. I was visible. I was visible. People were following me from platform to platform, but I was kind of eventually I just thought to myself, why don't I be like one of those kids that's lost at the amusement park and just stay put in one spot and let mom and dad find me?
That's a good analogy.
So what are some of the objections? I mean, why do clients of ours, or in general, just out there in the social media space, why do you think people want to spread themselves across multiple? You see the follow for follow on Facebook for Instagram and so on and so forth. Why do people want to be on so many platforms? What are some of the reasonings behind it?
There's a lot, but some that we touched on earlier is, well, what I'm doing is not working. So I need to go somewhere else.
Okay.
Or where, oh, my people are here, they're not here. So let me go to this new place. Or, oh, this new place is trending. Or, well, I'm tired of people trying to sell to me. So I'm going to go somewhere where it's high
Where
vibe.
nobody's selling.
Right. Because nobody's there yet.
Yeah, because nobody's there yet. There's nobody. Well, number one, you're in the business space. So you're going to be around other business owners trying to sell. Do you think that that's kind of like a culture shock for people just starting out, to be honest, I know that we're hit up just in general as just a person that's just using social media, we get hit up, but do you find it escalates? Or do you think that the perception of it escalating is just because of our own issues that we're dealing with within our business and, inconsistency and things like that? Is it the perception or is it real?
Well, if you ask people that it's happening to, they'll say it's real, but I think it's perception because it doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me anymore either.
Like the way I think of it is if you know the game and you know how the game is played, then it is what it is. There's too many things that are more important to be worrying about than like, oh, this person just, hit me up. I can't believe it. Like how could they? It's just wasted energy, in my
That mean
opinion.
person.
So
It is. I think that I've been there, I mean, when you're first starting out, you really want to know how to get clients. How long do you think you need to implement a strategy on a social media platform before you decide to add more to it?
Oh gosh, at least 3 months.
At least
And
3 months. And that's with a coach.
and then when you say like implementing a strategy, that there's a disconnect
Yep.
because people think if you just post a couple of times that indicates some sort of strategy. It doesn't.
No.
Do you have a customer journey laid out? Have you given people a clear value proposition that shows, okay, I'm the person for you? Because I
Right.
see a lot of pages where it's unclear,
Yeah,
like, oh,
I
empowerment
saw you
coach.
talking about that the other day. I saw you talking about that the other day, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you go and you look. We look at profiles daily.
Mhm.
And I remember one girl saying, it's clearly stated what I do. So I hopped over onto her profile, and what she's talking about, she put the link in the bio, and that was it. If you look
It's
at her
clear to
feed, there's
you.
nothing there. I'm like, it's clear to you, but you're making people hunt to find out. It's more important than ever to be transparent, to let people
Mhm.
where they're going. But as for the platform hopping and stuff like that, I think that's almost like shiny objects because
Yeah.
Threads came out, and I was like, no,
Mhm.
because like I said earlier, I was on YouTube, Clubhouse. Oh, TikTok's doing stuff. I mean, I was around when TikTok first came out. I mean, before anybody was there, I had a friend of mine that was like, I'm on TikTok and I'm getting clients, right? But she
Mhm.
had a strategy behind it, a hardcore, really good strategy behind it. And she was a social media marketer. So, she knew what she had to do. And then she reported she was getting clients off of it after she had built the momentum. That's a lot of times what we don't hear is the momentum piece. We just talk about, look, I got 60,000 leads in 5 seconds. Want to find out how I did it? Here, I'll give you the exact same strategy, but nobody talks about all the momentum that had to be built up to get to that point.
Yeah, it's very nuanced.
Yeah, it's like, poof, you have a business. No. So as for everybody selling over here, I think that's a little bit more perception. It just gets louder because you're trying to sell, so you notice it more. But I think that leads to the next thing is the market is saturated. I remember when I started out with we both talked about this, our MLM journeys and working as an independent contractor and freelancer and all that mess. And I started out with a company that taught online. And we taught students, and there were 30,000 teachers competing against one another. And the biggest complaint was the market is saturated, too many teachers. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Chinese, there's
Oh wow.
30,000 teachers and the market's
All right.
saturated and there's children. So if we use that same analogy, we look at that, 77% of businesses use social media to promote their business. We also know that a high percentage of them don't do it well.
Yeah,
Yeah, a high percentage
definitely.
of them just slap a cover photo up and go, look, I told you about my services.
Yeah, there's the strategy.
Ta-da! I did a picture, so
That took 2 hours in Canva.
it took 2 hours in Canva. I know 2 hours to go, ping, look at me. So,
Hmm.
I mean, the cover photo is great. It's fine, but don't spend 6,000 hours on it. I don't. So, we have Facebook has 3 billion people on it. It's still the number one platform.
And
LinkedIn
that's not going to change.
has 1 billion plus, and it's in like the fourth or fifth place.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, fifth. Comes in fifth. Who do you think are the top 4?
Well, we know Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram,
Yes.
probably TikTok.
Nope. TikTok's less
No.
than LinkedIn. TikTok has 800
Wow.
million.
Really? I'm surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. YouTube?
YouTube comes in second at 2.7 billion.
Hmm. And so what's third?
Third is Instagram. So Meta. Fourth
Okay.
is WhatsApp
Mm, okay.
before LinkedIn. That's Meta. Meta is dominating.
Yeah,
Ta-da!
I wouldn't have guessed that one.
Now, interestingly, school, which is not a social media it should really be in the list because it's not a social media platform. It is a pay to play platform. That's what I call
Hmm.
that. It's pay to play. Something similar to like Kay McKenzie's group, Women in Alignment. You can pay to play, right? You can pay to advertise in
Hmm.
a group. This is kind of the same thing, except it also houses your courses and all that kind of stuff. It has 2.2 million, and that's actually not bad considering. I know Alex has been around for quite some time. Actually, his millions weren't made until recently, but he talks about that. So we have these, we have threads with 175 million. It's less than Alex. So when you look at all these numbers, though, they're still quite high. I think we have a spot. It doesn't matter which one you go to. There's going to be a lot of people. But what should they know about all of this? If the case is start on one, right? That's the most common question I have. And I tell them start on one, start with the one that you're most comfortable with. But if you were going to sit there and tell them, okay, start with the one you're most comfortable with, why would we start with one and then later add another one, say a year down the road? Give it a full year of commitment, whether you have a coach or not.
Because each one of these is different, and each one requires time. You may be comfortable with it, but when it comes to marketing your business on said platform, there is a learning curve there.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
if
start at
you
zero
are
every time.
right, so if you are adding like, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, school, if you're doing
Right.
all of those at once, you're spreading yourself thin,
It's also
and there's
several
no
different
way to be
strategies at
consistent.
once.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. That's
Yeah,
why
definitely.
that's why you see I'll just post. I'll just do a cover photo. I'll do the same thing I'm doing on the other social media platform and see if I can get better results over here with the same thing I'm doing over here. And the difference between Facebook and LinkedIn is the personality aspect. LinkedIn is far more businessy,
Mm-hmm.
the business
There's
exec. And so therefore they go into, you can do, articles, and people can jump in
mm-hmm.
there and discuss, research, peer-reviewed articles. They are peer-reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have that kind of atmosphere, there's a different strategy involved with LinkedIn versus Facebook. I think we jump from platform to platform because we're not clear on exactly what our offer is. So therefore we deflect a little bit and say, well, it's the platform's fault. Because as you said
Yeah.
earlier, a lot of people, you go to their thing, you're like, what the hell do you sell?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that gets a lot of people confused
It does. It
because,
does.
again, we go to that information overload. There's so many people teaching so many different ways to do stuff, and it gets confusing.
This platform hopping, I think, is related to skipping steps. Why do you think people want to skip steps?
I think people are skipping steps is because of the way the online space is marketed. You have, it's very fragmented. So you have people teaching, oh, I can show you how to generate leads over here. Or, oh, I can teach you how to, book your next 5 clients in
Mm-hmm.
2 months in your sleep or whatever. There's people teaching different steps.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
people see that and they're like, oh, well, let me just jump into this. But there's a gap there.
Yeah, I don't think it's purposeful though. Everybody says we need new strategies. The old strategies aren't working. The old strategies are working. What's happening is what you said. People are fragmenting it.
Well, here's the thing about the fragmentation. I agree that it's not intentional. However, there are people who come online that don't know what they're doing.
That's right.
And
That's right.
that is not meant to be disrespectful or anything. It just is what it is.
I
And
do
so
see a lot
people
that woke up one morning and said, "I think I'll be a business coach,"
and
and you
people
can
are
tell.
teaching what they've learned. There's no, experience in corporate. There's no academia, anything to back it up. I've literally seen people say, I was, a website developer.
Yeah.
I tripped and fell and made $10,000. Now I'm teaching you how you can trip and fall and make $10,000. And they're calling it business coaching. And people are getting into that and they're skipping steps
Well, there's
because
also the
there's no,
fragmentation of the mindset versus the strategy. It's
mm-hmm.
all mindset. It's all strategy. And I'm like, have you not learned anything from the diet industry?
Yeah. Oh, well, you can't, make 10K because there's something wrong with your mindset. Or, oh, you're
No, not
just, what do
necessarily.
they say? You're
Sometimes it's just your
introverted.
link. Your link isn't working. Sometimes it's just that.
Yeah, pay me $10,000 so I can fix your mindset, and that may not even be the issue.
Well, the
It's the
thing
same
is when
thing
you,
as, those pharmaceutical ads. Oh, wait, I have that.
suddenly I'm sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I need it. Well, I think that the reason why we platform hop is it does have a lot to do with the shiny object thing. We're trying to make things work. And you're right. People come on there and they say LinkedIn is the next best thing. Let's all hop over there, which that's marketing. I mean,
They're selling LinkedIn stuff.
they're
Yes, it's the
selling
next best
LinkedIn
thing.
on Facebook. That's the first paradox that I see. Why are you over here on Facebook if LinkedIn's so awesome? But the other thing I see, and this is what I love, Alex Hermzoy. Let me just, I'm probably saying his last name wrong, but I like the man. I like what he does. But I also listen very carefully to his vision of what marketing and sales is. It's very bro marketing, very much so.
And you know what? Go
But
ahead.
he's not pro marketing. But he's right. He's right. But the way that he does it is a lot of hustle.
That's
It's a
what's
lot of hustle.
interesting to me about how people have latched on, because the people I see latching on are the same ones that are like anti-bro
Bitching
marketing.
about DMs.
Well, this is,
That's what
if
he
you,
teaches. Cold DM.
and if we're real, there's a place for all of it.
There is. There is.
But
What it boils down to is what aligns with what you want in your business. I'm not a cold
Mhm.
DM person because I simply don't like to be sold that way. So it makes me feel weird to do it. You know, I think also it's owning yourself as a business owner. It's not becoming a marketing and sales expert. It's being a business owner and standing by the decisions that you make in your business regard. Because when we say I need to go on another platform, or I need to go use this shiny object that's brand new and try this tool, or I need to try that tool, when we're not sitting down and looking in the first place at what our business is doing right now and evaluating it.
But that's the boring stuff.
I know it's so boring. Oh my God, it's so boring. I want to go out and book clients now. I don't want to figure out what the costs are. And I don't want to figure out how much my business needs to sustain itself. That's no. Sorry, you have to do that.
Well, these are conversations that people are not having, you know.
Bouncing from everything to everything and buying the website and buying the things and doing all the things is not going to address the elephant in the room. Can you sell it?
Mm. Well, then that brings up a conversation about sales.
I know.
Because I see that marketing and sales is conflated. People think they're
Marketing and sales
marketing,
is
that
what?
is conflated. People
Conflict.
think that when they're marketing that it's sales,
No.
because they don't want to sell, because there's this stigma around selling, like we talked earlier,
Right.
the bro marketing.
Well, the definition of selling is literally to manipulate somebody into something. Manipulate somebody out of their money. But that's Webster's definition. And it is that's literally, but manipulation doesn't have to mean negativity.
Well, and
You
again,
know,
it depends on how, you can put lipstick on a pig. It's
yes.
still a pig. And I see this, we're going to do, whatever they're calling it now. The feminine selling and the,
Heart-centered selling, the soul-centered,
yeah, at
the
the end of
moon's
the
out, and
day,
now everything's
do
going to
you
turn
want my
upside down.
coin?
Yeah.
Call it whatever you want, but there will be a conversation had where I have been influenced to make a financial decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Well, and how you influence that person to make that decision is the difference. And I think that's what a lot
sure,
of people
yeah.
are having trouble with, is
Mm-hmm.
how they're being manipulated. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of it, let's face it, there's some people out there doing some stuff that just honestly it's not illegal, but it's unethical.
Yeah, tomato. Yeah, definitely.
And there are some doing illegal stuff out there, but they're quite obvious. I mean, we've all learned how to figure out what the fake Facebook profile is and what the bots are that like to throw things into the comments about, I can't send you a friend request. I think all of these things contribute to jumping around because you're not clear on your sales process and you're too busy looking at all the bots running around, but not turning around and asking yourself, when you accepted that friend request, did you actually look at the profile and look and see who it was?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, when you're talking about adding all these platforms for people who are doing it, is it really about increasing your reach? Because the same people that were on Facebook are probably going to be on Instagram. So
Oh
unless
yeah,
you
I mean
have
that's
your messaging
almost
dialed in,
That's
Yeah.
the key. It's discovering what gets you clients and how you get clients. And the only way you can do that is to talk about your business. It's not the
You hit
platform.
the
It's
nail
not
on
the
the head.
website. It's not anything else. It's just fucking you saying, hey, I'm doing this thing.
So what do you think about people saying I'm moving my Facebook group, like with the platform hopping? I'm just packing up shop.
Yeah, we're back. Our original
Yeah.
convo.
Yeah. Packing up shop. I'm leaving. Facebook groups are dead. You know,
Well, how
everybody's
long?
selling
Well,
in
my
there.
first question would be, how long have you been doing it? And what do you track? What are you tracking? Where are the numbers? Where's the data? Prove it to me. So show me what you've been doing first. Now, if it's definitely dead in the water and it's not working out for you because it's simply a system that you're like, it's just not vibing with me. That's one thing, right? Because you can
But if
have a
groups aren't
strategy,
working
just
for you, it's not going to work,
doesn't
whatever
work.
platform you,
Right, right.
yeah.
It doesn't matter where you go. It's not going to work.
Okay, so here's the thing that I actually had a seven-figure coach tell me is that you have to build community.
Hmm.
And which is true. The best way to build community is having a group.
Not necessarily. How did I find you?
I don't remember.
I was on your podcast.
Yeah, but how did we?
I think we just randomly found each other. I mean, just like anybody else does, to be honest. And I think if you're open to talking about business and just, I mean, I told somebody not every meeting is an opportunity to sell someone. And they're like, every time you talk to somebody is an opportunity to sell. Not necessarily if you take a fucking hot second to figure out where is this relationship going. That's why I've been shocking the crap out of people in the messages, because they'll say, I just accepted your friend request. What are you doing? What do you want? And I just get in there straight up. I'm here to sell to you or find out what this relationship is. If you don't want to buy my stuff, then I'm just happy to support you as a small business owner. I mean, I say it nicer, but I think if we had more transparency like that, to just kind of, hey, I'm going to take the stench out of the room and tell you why I'm here. I've bought stuff off of people that I've had collaborative relationships. I think we have too much focus on sell, and not enough focus on, I'm a business owner. I'm going to go out and talk about my business and see what kind of connections I can make.
The sales come after that.
The sales come
They're just gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. That's why you see people jumping into the comments and wanting to, interject their expertise.
I always report those.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it. But meanwhile, I was talking to Joy, so I'm going to go over here and talk to her. It's like that random person at the bar, it just
at the
sticks
party. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey guys, what's going on? But I get it. People, I've been there. I've done the same thing. You're just trying to figure out how to get people's attention, how to get out there and talk about your business, and keep doing that. You're going to fuck it up anyway. So stay on one platform. Stop bouncing, because every time you bounce, you're starting all over again. Pick one automation tool, because every time you bounce, you're going to have to start all over again. And the same goes for your content. I love that you're doing the magnetic content piece, because that piece right there is why people bounce. They don't know how to, they're avoiding that.
Yeah. Do you think they're avoiding it, or it's just
Well, I
they
had
don't
one
know?
client that just said, I'm not a writer like you. I said, yeah, but you're you. You don't have to write like me.
You don't have to be a writer. Yeah.
You don't have to be, you
People
just be
don't
you.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people jump on a post where somebody's just sharing something about some damn movie they'd shared, and it's a hot mess and 6,000 people engage. But the point is are they engaging for their own entertainment, or are they engaging because they want your services? That's the difference. Yeah. It's not just what you do, it's how you spend your time on it.
Right. And if you're scrolling on Facebook, you're going to be scrolling on LinkedIn. You're going to be scrolling on IG. And that's,
that's the way the platform's made. It's made to make
you don't that. Right. If you don't have a focused strategy coming in, with the intention, this is what I'm doing today, it's not going to work.
Mm-mm. And the only way to have that clarity about what you need to focus on today, and whether or not that social media platform is the thing you should add to your list of things.
I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn.
I know you decided to switch to LinkedIn. You were like, hey, I think, and LinkedIn does suit your personality. I think it does.
And I'm able to write a lot there, and there's people that are on LinkedIn that are not on Facebook, but it's different.
Yeah. It's what feeds your passion.
Yeah.
But you're not going to figure out what that is unless you start with one solid strategy.
Exactly. And when you know your business, like you said, and you have your messaging dialed in, you can go anywhere.
Yeah, you can. You can. You absolutely can. When you have your messaging down, you know how to talk about your business. You can go anywhere. I've done in-person networking events because it's great practice for talking about your business, but I just get more at ease and it translates into social media. But you need to pick one and get good at it.
Yeah, that requires patience, too different, and they both can be exhausting if you're, giving too much.
I think the biggest takeaway from all of this and platform hopping is you need to remove the emotion out of your business. You can have your passion and your emotion here with you, but you need to take it out of your business. And the best way to do that, if you want to go jumping from platform to platform, is to sit down and go, okay, first, am I just being reactionary and running over here? Or is this actually a good idea for my business? And of course, if you need, at any point, you need support, I would highly recommend that you seek out a mentor and find out what you need to do to put the systems in place to support your goals over the long haul. Check out the free mini course in the Effortlessly Book community. Get set up to book 2 to 4 clients. Okay, thank you so much. You get back to your family and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go play horses.
Okay, thank you, Leah.
Thank you for listening to the Making Business Effortless podcast. This edition was done live inside the Effortlessly Book community. For access to the full version and future live broadcasts inside the Effortlessly Book community, check the show notes for a link to the Effortlessly Book community, where you will also gain access to free and paid services supporting you on your journey to a fully booked, sustainable, and effortless business.